Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Those of you that are new, welcome to Debos Nation. The first video I have for you today is Val Venus, and this is going to be a court proceeding, so you might have to strain your hearing just to be able to hear it, but I want to try and get some of it across just so I can show you how this guy acts in court. We've seen how he acts in public. Let's see how he acts in a court setting. Enjoy.
And you're not allowing me back in there?
Nope.
You're not allowing me back in. You're going to deny me a right to engage in freedom of the press.
Correct. You're not allowed back in, sir.
Will I be arrested if I go back in there?
You will. Absolutely.
I will be arrested if I go back in there.
Will.
Did you swear an oath to honor a judge's ruling, or did you swear an oath to honor the Constitution, sir? To issue a trespass warning?
I'm issuing it to you right now.
Then give it to me in writing. In paper. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me right here on Top Shelf Anarchy. Right now, we're getting ready to head into the Mesa Municipal Courts over here. And we're going to take our camera in there and see if they'll respect our First Amendment right to freedom of the press and to film in public from public places. And we're going to see how far we can get into this city court in order to attempt to ask the city attorney a few questions. Let's go.
Well, just to set this up a little bit, this is the Val Venus character from the WWF in the mid-'80s and '90s. He's good on the mic, so he's not afraid to talk in front of people and stuff like that because of his wrestling career, but he still spews out the same crap as everybody else.
How y'all doing?
Can't be filming here, sir.
Can't be filming in here? Why can't we film in here?
Just like the sign says.
Where's that sign?
Right on the doors.
Okay, so now what we need to do is to talk who's in charge of this place to get that unconstitutional sign removed. So who can we speak to about that?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Supervisor coming out right now.
Please do.
No.
Welcome back.
How are you, sir?
Okay, so you've been here before, so you know the rules.
I know the rules. I know the supreme law of the land says I have a First Amendment right to freedom of the press.
The rules of the court, then.
All right, sir, I'd like to speak to your supervisor to talk about getting these unconstitutional signs removed.
Here's the paperwork.
Oh, this is going to convince me that it's constitutional?
Nope, it's going to convince you that you need to leave, or I'm going to have you trespass.
You're going to have me trespass for being a journalist that is documenting what's happening in public places in a public building. And you're going to turn around like a tyrant because my words don't matter. Please get me your supervisor.
Okay, Mr. Val Venus. Public buildings don't belong to any individual member of the public. Just as public employees don't work for individual taxpayers, no matter how often a taxpayer tells an employee, I pay your salary. Public buildings don't belong to individual members of the public. Therefore, government buildings are property of another for the purpose of the trespass law. As one Texas court put it, in a case involving public grounds, the state satisfies the burden of the another element of the criminal trespass statute by proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the complainant has a greater right of possession of the property than does the accused. And that's Wilson versus State, 504 S.W.3D337.
I'd like to speak to a supervisor. So here we go, guys. The supreme law of the land says Americans have a First Amendment right to freedom of the press, to be journalists, and then you have people like this that swore an oath to the Constitution They work in a public building where constitutional rights are supposed to be protected. Yet that First Amendment right, as much as the Founding Fathers attempted to protect you, the American citizen, from these people violating your First Amendment right, look what they're doing. They swear an oath to the Constitution, but somewhere magically they must have sworn an oath to policy as well.
Again, you're not the press. You're a YouTuber with your own views, just like I am and everybody else on YouTube. But a Superior Court ruling found that the statutory definition of the news media requires an entity to have a legal identity separate from his own. So that's not you.
And to the public school teachers out there, these are all fully grown adults right here that work for the government. They were in your hands for 12 years. 12 years. These human beings were in the halls of your camps, your indoctrination camps.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you blaming this on the teachers? This is all you guys. This has nothing to do with teachers, because the teachers also had you for 12 years. They can't be blamed for everything. You're ridiculous. You're a dictator and an idiot.
You had one job, and now I have fully grown adults violating my First Amendment right to freedom of the press. You had one job, public school teachers, one job. We got a supervisor coming down? Or somebody that's in charge of the building? Shame on all of you. Violating an American's First Amendment right to freedom of the press. Unbelievable. How do people get like this? I can't even go up to the city's attorney's office to ask simple questions because these guys want to stop me from coming in here and documenting my journalism.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
What a crying shame. Do we have somebody coming down, ma'am? Somebody in charge of the building? How does it make you feel to tell somebody they're not allowed to engage in the First Amendment protected activity called freedom of the press? You don't want to answer that? Mesa Police, so you get paid by tax dollars. Who told you it was okay to accept a career position knowing your entire paycheck, your entire pension, and your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot? You don't have skills or anything marketable that you could engage in the free market and earn money honestly? Instead, you accept your entire standard of living to be funded with stolen loot. I mean, unless you truly think taxation is something other than the crime of theft. Would you know theft if it hit you in the face?
Oh my God. You're such a... Oh my God. Would you know the 10th Amendment if it hit you in the face?
Nothing to say. But yet, you have the power, you have the ability. You don't have the right, but you have the ability to put me in handcuffs and put me in a cage. And you won't answer questions. Tell me that's not a tyrant.
Funny thing is, that's exactly what auditors do when they go out. They don't answer questions. So are they considered tyrants?
Shame on every single one of you. You're a young man. You're a young man. How does it feel? How does it feel knowing your paycheck and pension is funded with stolen loot? They don't want to answer the good questions. They don't want to answer the real questions.
You can keep it.
So the question here is, there's a bunch of you with badges on. Which one of you is going to honor your oath and allow a journalist to come in and document asking the city attorney questions?
This guy is fucking stupid!
Oh, it's funny, is it?
Thank you.
It's funny being a tyrant.
I don't know if I need 13.
No, you're fine.
Unbelievable. Didn't have any skills or anything marketable that you could earn a living in the private sector, do you? You, as a human being, willfully chose to pursue a career knowing your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot. Shame on you guys. Shame on every single one of you.
Okay, first of all, Valerie, you don't have to be in that particular building. You can get your information through phone calls, emails, any other way you want. But if you want to go and see her, then you have to go through the security. If you don't want to go through security, then you don't. Plain and simple.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm well, sir.
What's your name and badge number, sir?
Garth White 12877.
Garth White, it's a pleasure.
Anyway, they have paperwork saying that y'all can't video inside.
I understand what they have, sir. They also have a sign right here that says no photography, video recording.
Right.
Yeah, and what did you swear an oath to?
Okay, let's not get into all that.
Let's not get into the Constitution. You swore an oath to the Constitution, yes or no? You swore an oath to protect my right to act as a journalist and go in there and ask the city attorney very basic questions, okay? So yes, let's get into that. You swore an oath to protect my right to freedom of the press, right? Yes or no?
Of course I did.
Okay, then can you please go ahead and protect my right to freedom of the press?
No, they have
You
paperwork
can't.
from
You,
the court saying you can't do
did
that.
you swear an oath?
He's not allowed to.
Did you swear an oath to a judge, or did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
Okay.
I want an answer.
Well, let's go have a conversation in the shade.
That's a good idea, get in the shade. It is a little hot out here. So you swore an oath to the Constitution. What are you doing enforcing policy? Loser. Does the Constitution say you have freedom of the press except when this fat guy right here decides to produce some piece of paper that says policy on it?
So now you have to attack the guy's weight. Yeah, that'll get you in there faster.
And you're not allowing me back in there?
Nope.
You're not allowing me back in. You're going to deny me a right to engage in freedom of the press.
Correct, you're not allowed back in, sir.
Will I be arrested if I go back in there?
You will. Absolutely.
I will be arrested if I go back in there.
Will.
I am the law! I am the law!
Can we go back in the shade?
Wow. I will be arrested if I go back in there. You just, sir, I'm telling you right now, you have a chance to change your mind, but right now you're setting yourself up to have the taxpayers robbed by a lawsuit.
Listen here, Valerie, or Top Shelf Anarchy, or whatever you claim yourself to be. But I'd just like to read you what the meaning of rhetoric is and tell me how close it comes to what you are. Rhetoric is using words in a clever way to persuade others to accept an idea. It is the use of words that include half-truths, untruths, to purposely cause an emotional negative reaction, emphasize differences to an extreme, create bias, bigotry, and unrest. That sounds an awful like your side of the story, don't you think?
So you're not going to honor your oath. Instead, you're going to honor some tyrant judge's policy. Is that right?
Well, the judges are the one that set the rules.
Did you swear an oath to honor a judge's ruling, or did you swear an oath to honor the Constitution, sir? Which did you swear an oath to?
Okay, you're trespassed from there. If you go inside, you'll be arrested.
I'm okay. Well, now, do you care that you just set your city up, the city that you represent, for a lawsuit?
Sir,
Does that bother you?
You may do as you wish.
No, you don't care because you don't pay. Look around. See all these people driving? See these people walking across the street? They all go to work in the private sector and they're forced to pay taxes. It's them that's going to pay this lawsuit.
You have a wonderful day, sir.
It means nothing to you.
You are trespassed from this building.
I need something in paper, sir. I need something on paper that says I'm trespassed. No? No? Are you serious?
I'm telling you, you're trespassing.
I want something
I
in
don't know
writing I
what
can
you
take to
want.
my lawyer.
I don't care what
Then
you
I'll
want.
go in there and get arrested, and we'll force it that way.
Okay.
The judges right now are getting sick and fed up of you guys using the courts as a playground. Now, going to court it's something very serious. It's not a game you play. And I think right now what they're doing is they're giving you guys enough rope there for you to do what you need to do. Because the judges are just going to end up saying, what are all these charges that keep getting dropped? You know, eventually they're going to have enough in their little basket to say, I think we need to change a few laws. I think that's exactly what you're going to have happen here.
Now give me a piece of paper that says I'm trespassed. I want them to issue a trespass warning.
I'm issuing it to you right now.
Then give it to me in writing, in
need to
paper.
write it.
You don't need to write it?
I do not need to write
What
it.
do I take to a lawyer to prove I've been trespassed
Take
from
your
there?
video.
I need something in writing.
Take your video.
Sir, go in there and get me a trespass warning. They have to write it. What crime did I commit walking in there, sir? What crime did I commit? Filming? Is that a crime? What crime did I commit to get trespassed?
If you go inside, you'll be trespassed, and you will be arrested.
Let me ask you this question, sir. Let me ask you this question.
Shoot.
You pursued a job knowing that your entire standard of living is funded with stolen loot. Your entire paycheck, your entire pension is funded with stolen loot. Okay?
Have a great day,
Who
sir.
told you that was okay?
Watch out, don't get ran over.
Yeah, I'm a fully grown adult. I've been living 51 years. I think I'll be pretty good.
Okay.
Wow. Mesa City cops. Unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm trying to go in there to ask the city courts and the city court attorney some questions, and these guys won't let me go in there to film. First Amendment right to go in there and film, and they just denied it to me. They literally threatened me with arrest if I go in there with my camera. Wow. Wow.
I guess that's all you can say is wow after you get owned so badly. You don't even know that you got owned, and that's the funny part of it all. You're such an idiot. You can't even see that they're making fun of you. Oh, God. Okay, I want to show you another video of him. He was pulled over for a rolling stop at a stop sign, and he got a ticket, and he went in to fight it. And I want to show you, I want you to listen to what he said in court to the judge, and he thinks this is a win. So you tell me what you think.
Tell me your full name, David.
Sean Morley, it's S-E-A-N. Morley is M as in Mark, O-R-L-E-Y, and it's March 6, 1971.
Okay. You sent you a notice that says you were under defense driving school for this. Is that what you wanted to do?
I had a couple questions before we went forward here. The foundation of this claim against me, the claim is I did not bring my car to a full and complete stop before making a right-hand turn at a stop sign. That's
If you say so, all I have is ran stop.
okay. Yeah, apparently that's the claim against me. Would you agree that the foundation of this claim is that there's an obligation for me to obey a written instrument called traffic laws?
You're making an argument, you're not asking a question.
How's that not a question? I just asked, would you agree that...
You gotta obey the traffic laws.
I understand that's the state's claim, right? Is the state the plaintiff against me? Are they the ones making the claim against me?
State of Arizona versus Sean Moore.
Okay, so is the state's making the claim I'm obligated to obey a written instrument, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, what facts did the state ever produce that would prove an obligation exists between myself and that written instrument called traffic laws?
They would have to present that at trial.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Now, on the back of this ticket, there's a very real threat that if I didn't show up to court, my driver's license would be suspended.
That is true.
If I continued to drive, ultimately I would be arrested, correct?
You could get arrested for driving on a suspended driver's license.
Okay, so I would lose my freedom.
That would be up to the officer to take you over.
Okay, so would you agree?
You can get arrested, you don't have to, they could cite you with it.
Okay, so would you agree that that is a threat of state-sanctioned arrest?
No, it's just telling me what the possible consequences could be.
Right, well, as a human being that has to travel to work and take my kids places, I need to drive.
I agree.
So the foundation of this claim is I'm obligated to obey a written instrument. And there's a threat that continues to hang over my head to show up in court, take time off of work. These are very real threats. I need to see the facts proving I'm obligated to obey that written instrument, that an obligation actually exists.
Okay, you want to set this for civil traffic hearing?
Well, I'd like to not have this threat over my head anymore to show up at places I don't want to be.
You have three options. One is you can do driving school. I'll give you the
That's if I plead guilty, correct?
No, if you want the driving school, you can do it online, you can do it in person, and the citation gets dismissed.
Okay.
Second is you can pay a fine. That's admitting guilt. You pay a fine and you get points. The third is if you don't think you're guilty of this or the state can't prove it, charge, we can set it for civil traffic hearing.
Now that's assuming that I'm still obligated to obey that written instrument, correct?
You're dangerously close to losing option number one because you did not do that before May the 24th. What do you want to do?
Well, today is May the 24th, correct?
No, we sent you a notice that says if you went to driving school.
So the only thing I want to do is I want the state to present the facts that would prove to a reasonable human being that an obligation exists between me and those written instruments called traffic laws that they claim I'm obligated to obey.
I think this is where the 10th Amendment would come in.
I think that sounds reasonable, does it not?
We'll set this for civil traffic hearing.
We can't get rid of this today?
Pay a fine.
Well, I don't want this threat over my head. I have this threat over my head based on the foundation that I'm obligated to obey a written instrument. If they can't prove I'm obligated to obey, the officer said he would be here today with those facts, and here I am, now I'm being pushed to another trial hearing. Like, where's the fairness and the morality and the ethics in this? Are you of the persuasion that the state has presented you with facts proving I'm obligated to obey those written instruments called traffic laws?
Today is an arraignment, it's not a civil traffic hearing. We'll set it for civil traffic hearing, have the officer show up, and they'll see if you can prove the case. Perfect. Thank you. Stephen Schroeder.
So you do have to, yes, it is a requirement, sir.
Okay, now you claim that I have to pull over. That's according to police protocol, or is that according to a written instrument called traffic law?
Sir, I believe we went through this that evening.
I'm just asking the question. It's either police
I'm
protocol.
going to interject here real quickly. That's basically set up by statute, Mr. Morley. But what we're here today for is the violation is failing to stop. Okay, so do you have any questions specifically about the failing to stop?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So,
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple.
did you pull me over because you said I violated a part of the written instrument called traffic law, where I didn't bring my car to a full and complete stop at a stop sign?
Okay.
Is that yes or no?
No, I'm going to answer you the question.
It's just yes or no.
I'm going to answer you the question.
Let him answer the question.
I'm going to answer you the question, okay? Again, my job that night is what I did. You violated the statute, which is coming to a complete stop, which...
Non-responsive, man.
Which I answered when I told you that night that you ceased to come to a full cessation of movement, which is defined as a stop. You did not stop at the stop sign. You did what I consider a California rule, which is going to the intersection and going on your way. I explained to you that evening, and that is the answer, sir.
Okay, so are you of the opinion that I am obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law? It's a simple yes or no.
I'll answer the question for them, yes. Okay. so
Objection. Are you
let's-
taking the
let's
same?
just go ahead, and what I would like you to do is for you to provide me the information that you want me to consider.
I'm trying to get an answer here, ma'am, and
Okay.
here's another question I have for
Answer the
you.
question.
I have a question for you. Is it the state's position that I'm obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Is it this is the state over here, correct?
Okay, listen, I'm not.
Yes
gonna
or
fight.
no?
I just
Is this
want-
the state or not?
Okay, we're gonna either, you're gonna provide me what information you want me to consider, or.
I'm trying to get information here. Is it the state's position that I am obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law? Yes or no? It's very simple.
There are statutes in place that you are required to follow, yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I'm gonna answer that question as well, I'm sorry to interrupt. When you get your Arizona driver's license, on that form that you sign, it states in there that you will abide by the statutes of the state of Arizona to include any peace officer of the state of Arizona. And that is your answer.
So let me ask you this. If I didn't have a driver's license, I didn't sign for a driver's license, could I do rolling stops everywhere I wanted to?
You can stop again.
So the fact
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
is the driver's license is not the facts you rely on that would prove I'm obligated to obey a written instrument
The
called
driver's
traffic law.
license was never the fact, sir. It was you not stopping at the stop.
So I'm asking you what facts you rely on.
Question.
Non-responsive, ma'am. So I got another question for you because you made a statement I'm very concerned about. And I need to know this. Is this it's the state versus Sean Morley, correct?
That is correct.
Is it the state's position I'm obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law? It's a simple yes or no.
He answered the question.
Is it yes or no? Let's just clarify it for the record. The microphone's on. For the record, is it the state's position that I'm obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law?
I believe I've answered that.
Non-responsive, yes or no?
He's answered the question, sir.
And can you point out to me specifically where he answered the question, yes or no? I want it clear. Am I obligated?
We want to conclude this today, so do you want to conclude it?
I want an answer, yes or no. Am I obligated to obey the written instrument called traffic law or not? Yes or no?
Your Honor, with all due respect, not to answer that question, I'm not gonna play this game in a moment.
Okay.
All right, so my next question is it the court's position that I'm obligated to obey a written instrument called traffic law?
Okay. We're not here to ask the judge.
Non-responsive again.
Okay. So, do you want to proceed or not?
Of course I want to proceed. I'm looking for answers, and I'm starting to get very suspicious about this. I'm asking a very crystal clear question, and both of you are evading my question. It's a simple yes or no. I don't need a book. I need yes or no. Is it the state's position that I am obligated?
Hey, you're done.
I'm not allowed to argue my case.
You're done.
I'm not allowed to argue my case.
Done. Let's go.
What? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't even get this is a state-sanctioned extortion racket. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So what happens now? That's unbelievable. You guys are sworn to uphold the Constitution, right? I'm supposed to be allowed to go in there and argue my case. They were railroading me right in front of you all, and you all just walked me out of here. Unbelievable. So what happens with this ticket?
You'll have to call here and work it out.
Unbelievable. Can't even argue a case. You get up and you start asking very basic questions, and you get pulled out by police officers.
Please exit the building.
State-sanctioned extortion racket. That's what y'all. How many people a day do you guys rip off in here?
If you don't want
Unbelievable. So who do I gotta call? I don't want problems going out.
you have to call the courthouse.
This is unbelievable. The courts are supposed to be adversarial. Supposed to go in there and fight for your rights.
You're the only person that disrespected the judge.
Disrespected the judge by asking a yes or no question?
Raising your voice.
Unbelievable.
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
And a representative will be with you shortly.
Justice Court.
Hi, it's Sean Morley calling there. I was escorted out of the courtroom there yesterday, and they asked me to call back for an update of what's happening next. So I just wanted to get an update.
Yes, let me just pull it up here. So it looks like Looks like after the hearing, they noticed that, or during the hearing, they noticed that the traffic stop was out of our jurisdiction, so the case was dismissed.
And that is his big win that he's talking about. And trust me, this is not a win. The way he acted in the courtroom, he almost got himself in contempt of court. And then the way he acted in the courtroom got him kicked out and trespassed from the court by 3 officers. You know? And then he says that's a win. And then they call him back, or when he calls back the next day, they just tell him that it's been dismissed because it was out of jurisdiction. If they really wanted him, they could just get the other police force that's in the jurisdiction to come and testify. That's it. But he thinks he won that. So I'd like to see him try that in a case where it involves something a little bit more serious. Good luck with that. So I want to thank Judy LaPlante and Bubba Babinski for becoming sergeants. Thank you very much for becoming part of the Army. Welcome to the nation. And Debo's out.